How do you get clean in outer space? You take a meteor shower. Hello everyone and welcome back to Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm Melanie, the host for today's video, as we discuss the top 5 secret NASA missions they conceal from the public. And if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, let's fly straight into it. And for our number 5, we have time travel. Back in 1960, the CIA actually got associated with the time travel mission of Mars. But let's backtrack a bit, but not too far back into the land of dinosaurs, but rather the conception of time travel. According to NASA, time travel is possible, but not in the way we may think. In fact, NASA explains we all travel in time, but approximately at the same speed, which is 1 second per second. Plus, the space agency has also discussed how the different types of time travel seen in movies or even books could be real. Scientists have conducted experiments that show the faster you travel, the slower you experience time. And this was ultimately driven by one experiment which looked at 2 clocks. One stayed on Earth and the other flew in an airplane. Hopefully it got first class. Well, when they compared the 2 clocks, they found that the one in the fast-moving plane was actually slightly behind the clock on the ground, which means it was traveling slightly slower in time than 1 second per second. And NASA's conclusion stated, yes, time travel is indeed a real thing, but it's not quite what you've probably seen in movies. Before adding under certain conditions, it is possible to experience time passing at a different rate than 1 second per second. And there are important reasons why we need to understand this real-world form of time travel. Although we have slightly indicated the speed of time can be altered, we haven't gotten to a point where we could jump a few weeks ahead, at least for now. But NASA isn't the only one who has spoken about time traveling, because 3 years before the company was even founded, Albert Einstein passed away. And this theoretical physicist had his own theory of time travel. He believed if a person were to travel at the speed of light, time on Earth would appear to slow down and ultimately result in people on Earth aging faster than the person who was traveling at the speed of light. He also believed time is an illusion that moves relative to an observer, and that time and space are linked together, as the universe has a speed limit, as nothing can travel faster than the speed of light, which is 168,000 miles per second. And for our number 4, we have Reptilian Guidance. Many people don't know that NASA had scientists that were a part of the group of very controversial people, especially during World War II in Germany, if you can already guess what I'm hinting at. You know, they had a leader with a straight mustache. Well, anyways, that group of people taught the people of Antarctica about their objective to establish a mystery base for the space programs in that continent. A mysterious space program was established by that group from the highest northern areas of the Earth. The reptile alien allowed the group to learn their secret technologies so they could conduct space missions. American Navy intelligence officer William Tompkins told that an extraterrestrial reptile species has unfriended the group about setting up space programs, and apparently the outsider alien races directed the group to start their work secretly in Antarctica, and apparently the group's actions were controlled by these exterior races. And after World War II, the controversial group's researchers took away all the research papers from the US government in order to carry out their own space missions independently. Plus, NASA has even captured photos from Mars which resemble reptilian-like fossils. What do you think? And at number 3, we have remote viewing of Jupiter. This doesn't mean they just looked into a telescope and saw Jupiter, but rather remote viewing is a concept which suggests that some people can gather information about things or places far away even if they can't see them directly. It implies that by using extrasensory perception, also known as ESP, or even psychic abilities to access details beyond normal human senses. Although mainstream science has not considered or proven remote viewing as a proven or reliable phenomenon, many scientists view it as a pseudoscience without solid evidence. So, well, years ago, the CIA was associated with secret trials and projects that related to the remote survey. They nominated researchers from Stanford University to assist in the project, and one of the general population in the program was Ingo Swann. Anyways, Ingo Douglas Swann was born in 1933 and was a psychic and proposed a study to Russell Targ and Harold E. Puthoff to view the planet Jupiter through remote viewing. And both Russell and Harold were scientists who had doubts about the result because of the impossibility of verification. But one evening in 1973, Douglas decided to use his abilities to see Jupiter, and according to subsequent reports, it took him around 3.5 minutes. He claimed to have seen bands of crystal in Jupiter's atmosphere, just like the rings on Saturn. And a few years later, in 1977, NASA launched Voyager 1 to fly by Jupiter and Saturn, and it confirmed the existence of Jupiter's rings, which Ingo claimed to have seen before it was even proven. And this caused more RV experiments to take place as Russell and Keith Hooray used RV to predict silver futures in an attempt to raise funds for their research, and the results were very successful. In fact, they earned $120,000 US and a front page article in the Wall Street Journal. And their forecasts were all correct for 9 weeks in a row on changes in silver future markets. Russell conducted another RV as he worked with Pat Price, who was a psychic and retired police commissioner, to identify and locate those who took 19-year-old newspaper Harris Patricia Hearst. And Pat was able to identify the ringleader in the police logbook, and he was able to identify the type and location of the car used, which ultimately allowed cops to find it within minutes. And for our number 2, we have X-38B. Sounds like something Elon Musk would name his kid, but instead it is a secret aircraft which most of its projects are kept hidden from the public. It first started flying secret missions in 2010 and has been doing it ever since. Although not much is known about the purpose of this aircraft, what we do know is that it looks a lot like NASA's iconic space shuttle, but is much smaller. It is only 29 feet long, or 8.8 meters, and has a wingspan of 15 feet, or 4.6 meters. Although the X-37 program started in 1999 with NASA, which initially planned to develop 2 separate vehicles, one as an approach and landing test vehicle, and the other as an orbital vehicle. NASA ultimately transferred the X-37 development to the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, also known as a DARPA, in 2004. And at this point, it became a classified program. The Air Force's X-37B fact sheet stated that this space plane was designed to spend 270 days or even more in orbit at a time. And there was no sign of the reason for their multiple and lengthy missions, and the NSA has been quite quiet about this. In the Russian press, they have conveyed that the X-38B is a piece of a mission to eradicate satellites from space for America. Laura Grigo, who is a senior researcher of the Global Security Program, expressed the central goal of X-37B is so much secret that it must be a secret for a reason, but she doesn't understand or see any clear reasons for the secrecy, but does acknowledge that the nature of these missions is intentionally kept undisclosed. Plus, fun fact, you can actually see it from the ground, and by going into space.com's satellite tracker, you're able to see where X-37B is overhead during a mission. Although you can see it, it usually looks like a star moving across the sky. So next time you make a wish to a shooting star you see, make sure it's not X-38B near you. And in our number 1 spot, we have an ancient alien moon base. In April of 2007, a recording began on YouTube which was pushing for a mission to show the moon from August of 1976. And the user who posted this was William Routledge, who claimed other mystery space missions and was an author. William expressed that specifically his group reached the moon in secret back in 1976 and even claimed they found an ancient outer base there. Not only that, but William also claimed to have an encounter with a female humanoid, which was referred to as Mona Lisa, and even described it as it was in a condition of suspended movement, which is neither alive or, well, deceased. According to William, the outer exterior of this humanoid is described as weighing 75 kilograms or 165 pounds and being around 5'6" in height. This being apparently also has 5 fingers and 1 thumb, which highlighted the alien's mathematical structure and how it might be based on 12 rather than the human system based on 10. The team planned to transfer this being to Earth, but regardless, still isn't a confirmed claim. So Mona Lisa the alien, if you're out there, consider subscribing to the channel to learn more about yourself. Well, we have made it to the end of our list, which means we have reached the end of today's video. Which which space mission makes you wonder if NASA actually knows way more than they lead on? And what do you think the purpose of X-38b is? I'd love to hear all your thoughts down below, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. If not, it was Mona Lisa. Anyways, bye bye.